Hi everyone and welcome back to WARNO. Today we're in round 4 of the monthly tournament and we're finally on the new map Vertigo. So let's have a look at the map while these guys are deploying their troops. Today we're watching Justinflation and Junkymonke. Junkymonke playing in red on the left as the 8th Infantry, and on the right hand side in blue Justinflation playing as the 39th Infantry. But let's have a look at this map. I'm sure many of you would have played in it already, but it's a really nice new map. I quite like this one. Not quite so much a focus on the middle, you know, you've got a spread at the sides, and then there are ways around for choppers and things if you're so inclined. No roads in here for Echo or Alpha. Could potentially have been a reinforcement point for Echo, but there is not. I could have imagined that being one though. But it does mean you're having to split your forces across a wider area. Yes, there's a gap in the middle, a bit like the Two Lakes map, but this one's quite a bit more open. I think there's not many bushes in this area or buildings or anything, so the focus is always going to be on the points themselves. Obviously this one with a lot more buildings, more infantry orientated, this one a bit more long range, keeps the fights a little bit different. In terms of the points, each player has a point of their own. They all have buildings in to varying degrees. This one's probably one of the easier ones to defend in the sense that you can put some long-range infantry with an ATGM in there. This one equally, tanks, ATGM units that aren't standard infantry that can sit in tree lines rather than buildings. And over here, similarly again, you know, you've got this really wide open area here. I mean, nothing's coming that way. If you put some tanks and things in here, ATGMs. And then at this side, this one's a little bit tighter, I think, because you have all these trees right up to this edge. So yes, you can sort of build defenses back here in sort of the center, but you do have all this forest around the back to get into it, and it's a big forest. Where here, yes, you've got a bit of forest there, but there's a gap, and then there's a huge gap here, and there's a little... For me, this one's just easier to push around and get into from behind and the front, whereas this one sort of, you're going to have difficulty getting across this way into these trees. So I think this is probably one of the weaker points on the map. In terms of if you do manage to push through Echo, you have a chance of getting into Delta. Bravo, there's too much open area there. You could defend it. It's going to be difficult even if you push stuff up through here and around the forest. It's got a big open area there to give you a bit of fire while you're defending those buildings. I mean, this again, for me, you know, it's really difficult. I kind of feel as though the player at this side, so in this case, Justinflation, is in the better position, because if you can hold all these buildings and then push into these forested areas, it's going to be very difficult for this player to push down here. But similarly, you're probably in the same position if you can get into this side of the buildings across here. This just feels a bit closer, this tree line, so it would give you ability to fire on these buildings. Whereas if you're in here, I just don't think you've got quite as much range to hit these tree lines. But the game is off. Let's see what these guys do. So this is the first game we're seeing in terms of a 1v1 in this tournament on this map. I know that Protoss SD League did a few on stream yesterday, so it's going to be interesting to see how this is played. I didn't get a chance to watch those as I was busy doing my own stream at the time for Wargame Wednesdays, as always. So a couple of early command caps there for Delta and Bravo from Junkymonke. Interesting. It's a lot of points to spend early doors on that. Obviously neither player with FS troops. Good use of some Mi-24s here for anti-air, taking out the Cobras. Really nicely done. LRS heading around there in a Humvee. Sapori heading into here, I expect. Now, interestingly, considering that's 2 commands which are going to be costing at least 100 each. Let's double check that. 100 each for those guys. He still seems to have quite a lot on the field. Obviously, these Mi-24 is causing all kinds of problems at this side. Pivads are coming in now, and IHawk coming in as well. But it's going to be a little bit late for taking out those choppers. Up at the top, let's have a little look. Lots of Motostrelky metas coming in. That would be my choice here as well, and it's what I used when I played the 39th on this map. Or was I playing the 35th? I think I was playing the 35th. But, again, Motostrelky just having the nice longer range. Good for killing incoming vehicles. These choppers causing all kinds of problems. Fighting Falcon coming in to try and take them out now. There isn't actually much AA there. There isn't Osa back there, but look at that. Instantly took down one of those choppers. Is it going to come around and go for a second one? It has no AIM-9s left. So actually it probably needs to evac. It's also taken some damage. I assume the choppers with the anti-air missiles fired at it. 2 commands now coming in, because obviously +6 currently. Because these are all 3 points at the back. There's currently +6 for Junkymonke. Justinflation is going to neutralise that very shortly. Has given him quite a significant little boost. It didn't sort of dawn on me these were 3 pointers till just now. Centre points only worth 2 each, so not quite as a rush to cap those, though they certainly will want to. Oh no, that's probably coming for Hotel. Anti-air unit there. Oh no. MT-12. MT-12. Infantry pushing up through here now. He's managed to get into this end of the forest. The problem is, he really needs to be... Is he better off in these buildings? You know, I'm not actually sure. Bradley getting some good shots off on this T-62, and it's dead. Beautiful shot with a TOR-2, as always. BMP-3s coming in here will absolutely tear apart these infantry. Engineers flash in there, doing plenty of damage. Though they're probably going to die to the RPOs. And these guys are in trouble. He does need a tank there, and it's coming in now, but it's going to be late. Though he is managing to push up at this side. Considering Junkymonke's early expense, and quite a few losses to those choppers early game at this side, he's doing a really good job here. And there's not much movement over there for Justinflation at all. Command coming in for Echo as well now. And a command coming in for Alpha. No commands at the other side, but plenty of tanks coming in. T-62s and T-80. T-62 pushing around the back here. Going for that Pivads. Taking out the supply as well. Needs to be very careful with that CV, because if that tank spots it, it can kill it. And it has just taken the point, so he knows it's somewhere in there. M1 Abrams is coming in now, which will provide good support. Really good job being done here by this Bradley. It's just picking off these units. There it goes with another one. Wow. Bradley absolutely tearing apart the BMP-3s. However, Junkymonke did lose his infantry that were in there. There are reinforcements coming in, including that tank, of course. Look at all the reinforcements. It's Justinflation's calling in as well, though. Junkymonke needs to get more reinforcements up here, and soon. A couple of mortars there. Won't be doing a huge amount, but will be annoying. They are certainly killing these troops slowly. There's all those Motostrelky coming in. No more commands coming in. Currently +4 to Junkymonke. Junkymonke doing a really good job here. But this isn't a short game, so we're going to see some twists and turns, I'm sure. I'm waiting to see commands coming in for Justinflation. Because he needs to either neutralise these or kill the CVs. No movement up here at all. All the fighting is going on down here right now. Nothing around the back for either player, just zooming out and having a quick look around. Could you consider those Motostrelky metas around the back? Not really, they're kind of just providing defense. Obviously at this side, Justinflation much further forward. Interesting place for a Sapri RPO. Obviously, Incendiary Rocket Launcher is in range of this forest, so to his benefit. Abrams dead to the T-62. Must have got shots off early on it. That's going to be disappointing for the Abrams. Because I'm pretty sure it has a lot more armor. Yeah, pretty sure it has a lot more armor. Are there any tanks you can pull down from up here? There isn't Abrams there, which... 15 armor. T-80PV in here now. These engineers flash can't deal with those. The mech rifles can, though. But they're not going to be able to see it when it's at that side of the forest. And there's all the Motorstrelki, and Mortar's doing a reasonable job of keeping these infantry suppressed. Pivad's trying to run away from that tank. Mech Rifle's Law coming in there. Should be able to do some damage close range to that tank. HE Alpha Jet coming in, going for that, but will miss, I think. I think it did miss. It's already damaged anyway, that tank. Also did get some shots off, but it's evac, so it's out alive. Sapri Commander coming in there, and another Commander coming in at the top, so he will have neutralized points, but a significant lead in points for Junkymonke at this stage. Going to be about 1,100, I think, by the time this stops. Sapri RPO coming, massive reinforcement for this point for Justinflation. Junkymonke seemingly not bringing in a lot. I don't know if it's just the expense of buying a lot of tanks. Certainly has bought some Alpha Jets as well by the looks of it. But I feel right now that Justinflation has control back in this point. After initially sort of losing some of that control. Reconsolidated. That tank T-62 round the back certainly helped a lot. Ideally, I'd want to pull that back and repair it, but it does mean bringing in a supply truck, obviously. Alpha Jet taking shots. I think it's just escaped. Still no supply coming in. I really would like to see a supply for that poor T-62. Mech Rifle's Law should tear it apart if it can get near it. Just needs to get a side shot. There it goes. Oh, it missed. That's disappointing. That's very disappointing. Mech Rifle's Law, certainly not a bad unit, but lacks the range of the Mech Rifles with a Dragon. Sapri RPO being charged straight down here now. HE Bomber came in and dropped on the edge there. No recon at this edge. That's what Junkymonke's missing right now. Could do with another Bradley or something in. But yeah, overwhelming force certainly in Justinflation's favour right now. Oh, an SU-25 anti-tank coming in. Tanner's favourite jet. What's it going for? I would assume it was going to go for the Abrams. This one here, it's going to get a side shot if it doesn't turn. First one missed, second one struck. Fighting Falcon came in, took some shots, and the SU-25 is dead. It's an expensive loss, but he did get the tank, so he'll be pleased with that. Both players losing an expensive unit. T-80PV coming in for further support down the bottom here. More reinforcements coming in for Junkymonke, but Junkymonke, I feel, is on the back foot now. There are a lot more blue units there. And Justinflation making good use of those BTRs with the machine guns. They're not useless in any way, shape or form. They can be very effective. Good effort by Junkymonke has got back into this top end, though those mech rifles, oh, dead instantly. T-62 got a shot off with a missile and actually landed it, which is rare. That still needs repairing. There is finally a supply coming in, but God knows where it's going. Mech Rifle's Law are going to get destroyed in their vehicles, because Junkymonke hasn't evac'd them. HE Bomber's coming in there. That's a lot of losses for Junkymonke. Of units that he just brought in, that was at least 3 squads destroyed still in their vehicle. And these engineers, again, engineers flash dead as well. Where is Junkymonke's focus right now? He's not moving any units at the top. It just seems like he's, at the same time, not paying much attention down here. Which is really strange. All of those units should have just been unloaded as soon as fire was coming in. I'm not sure where his focus was. Very confused. Tanks coming in now. Another M1A1 Abrams. Some M60s. A Pivad's coming in as well. Another M1A1 Abrams. Bringing in the heavy guns, but... I'm sort of looking at this and thinking, I'm not sure he can effectively push this point anymore. I feel like he's going to need to defend this point and maybe try and push at the top, because obviously Justinflation has a lot less up here, whereas Junkymonke doesn't have a lot. And I keep feeling like I'm getting these two mixed up because Junkymonke is playing as NATO and Justinflation is playing as the USSR. And the colours are obviously, as always, the wrong way around. Because that's the same without fail. So apologies if I've mixed them up at any point during this. But Junkymonke... certainly on the back foot now. 26 minutes left of this game. And I just can't see a simple way for Junkymonke to get back in here. Justinflation just has too much there. Rangers in a Black Hawk pushing around the top there. Sneaky, sneaky kill on Hotel maybe. Not a bad strategy. Certainly needs to do something to distract Justinflation, because look at all of that in there. I mean, he's got no chance. He's just throwing tanks away. Here with Hellfire's pushing across there. Very good unit. But needs to be careful, because... there was an Mi-24AA, there it is, back there. It's out of missiles, but he could rearm it. Tor 2 getting some shots off, but about to be engaged by that Mi-24V rocket. Pivad's engaging it, though. But, oh, it is getting damaged slowly. And Kyu is also getting shot at. SU-25AT coming in from Justinflation. Once more, we'll be going for that Pivads, I assume. Missed. Missed. Oh no, it got... What? What just happened? Oh, it got it with the cannon. It got it with the main gun. I wonder why the missile exploded mid-air, but it's because the cannon got it. IHawk got a few shots off, but didn't finish the job. Rangers just flittering around the back there. I'm not sure what the plan is. Maybe just trying to get them at the very edge of that point. Or the edge of the map, I should say. Sharky BMP being called in there. I mean, this is a huge amount of units. And it's going to be a slow, drawn-out game if it's just +2 the entire time. But I feel like right now, Junkymonke's lost a lot of units. I also feel like Justinflation probably has enough units to push out of that point. It's just open ground is the issue. Could use his mortars to smoke, of course. That is an option. To be able to push that line of tanks. Obviously using that to scout and see what's across this side. M60 finally killing it. Rangers around the back, heading towards this point. So he is going for the kill. You get Alphacle coming in. Good. He needs more recon. He does have a couple of Bradleys there finally, though. But this is just... Yeah. I mean, I was on this side. Sorry for the spin. Where Justinflation is. And I was holding this in a 2v2 match. And this was my side. And I managed to hold and push. Just like Justinflation has. And once you're in that position, it's very hard for them to push back in. But Rangers dropped off there. Haven't been spotted, I don't think. Because that is not moving. Justinflation firing at those Rangers. No, he's firing at the chopper. And he's dead. Well done. Got the kill. We'll switch back to +1 to Junkymonke. Is 25 AT coming back in for another round. Wanting to get some tanks, I'm sure. Those Rangers will just sit in there now and cause issues. Where are these guys going? Possibly here where these metas are? Again, needs to be careful though, because he could end up losing them to the metas. T80BV coming out to kill them. One dead, so that's one squad dead. A second one dead, another squad dead. Did those mech rifles pop out there? I don't know if they were from that original vehicle or from the one that was still alive. Black Hawk perhaps being sold now. There is talk of having the sellable unarmed transports just vanish like they do in SD2. Mixed feelings about that. I kind of like using them as scouts in war games sometimes, so it's a shame if they remove that ability. But we'll see where that lands. Hopefully we'll be getting this balance patch next week now. I hoped it would be this week, but it looks like it's going to be next week, which includes changes to tanks. It will include the autoloaders being put on the relevant tanks, namely the Soviet tanks in particular. So it may mainly change to rate of fire related to veterancy. Because it obviously autoloaders don't magically increase their rate of fire based on the veterancy of the vehicle. It's just a flat amount because it's an autoloader. So we'll see, and we'll also see if non-autoloader tanks are still affected by veterancy. Lots of question marks on that. And apparently they're also bringing back FOBs so that your empty supply vehicles can be sent back to the FOB to refill it. That's something from Wargame that has been missing, and there's been a lot of debate about that, and it looks like they're finally going to bring them back. Whether it's just certain divisions that will have a FOB, I don't know. It's possibly something that they're going to bring back for the support divisions that they're bringing in now, which will have a lot of artillery focus, because obviously they will need more supply than all of the others. Okay, we've got a push going. Here we go. Zoom in for a bit of a look at this action, because there's nothing happening anywhere else on the map. Look at all of these tanks pushing. They're taking so many missiles though. So much fire. This is a very weird push. Tanks in range now to fire, but taking lots of missiles. Look at all the missiles coming from the side from those BMP-3s. Junkymonke is going to lose a lot of tanks here. This is a weird push. This was a smoke needed, if ever there was smoke needed in this game. That was it. In front of those tanks to cover them from the sides at least. That is an expensive push that hasn't done very much. He's killed some tanks at the front lines, but all the infantry remain. Still T80 up here, dishing out the damage. There's another M1 Abrams dead. That was expensive, Junkymonke. Jeez. And that's just Inflation's chance. He knows there's no tanks around this side anymore. He's moving up with those BMP3s and the Motorstrelki and will be aiming to get behind the lines. Just Inflation in control of that point. I missed that, but the Rangers are dead. CV is in that corner, but is it already dead? Or are they just... No, they are in. I mean, it's a neutralization of the points, which means that Junkymonke is still ahead with 17 minutes left to go, but it's all to play for here. Just Inflation certainly seemed to have more map control. Here we go, round the back with the BMP3s. Come on, deploy those Motorstrelki, Just Inflation. Don't make the same mistake that Junkymonke has several times in this game, where he's just left his infantry in the vehicles. There we go, deployed, deployed. And this next squad still coming in. SU-25 AT coming in, getting a kill there, I think, though taking lots of fire on its way out. Cobra being brought over, but will take a lot of fire from those BMP3s. Yep, and it is dead. Those autocannons right now just tearing everything up. This Ihawk somehow surviving. Oh, no, there it goes. I spoke too soon. Mech rifles pushing in this way. Can the BMP3 get there in time to take out those vehicles? MiG-23 AA in there. But this is very much in Just Inflation's favour. No movement up here from either player. It's all about what's happening at this bottom point. Just Inflation still has overwhelming force in here. Those mech rifles commander surely going to be killed. There's no way they can survive. There is so much stuff here. I mean, granted, most of it is now infantry. There's a couple of tanks over this side. That tank has been pulled back and needs a repair urgently, but there is still a T-80 there. M60 coming in for fire support there, but not going to be enough. Loads of reinforcements coming in here. Those mech rifles did manage to get into the point. They do have their 3 machine guns, so will cause problems for the Motorstrelki, but should be outnumbered by 3 squads of Motorstrelki. BMP3 is being pushed around the back here, possibly to stop reinforcements or slow them down, if nothing else. There was a big period of build-up there, with a big exciting finale. I mean, I certainly wasn't expecting such a aggressive and sudden maneuver from Junkymonke without sort of support from jets bombing first, or smoke, or something just to soften the front line up, or make Just Inflation pull units back, which would have been bombers really, or smoke. Alpha Jet coming in as well to try and take out these Sapri, I assume. All those infantry are actually dead. Wow. BMP3s coming in at the back there, getting some shots off on these vehicles. We'll be going for that command, I'm sure. S25 AT coming in. Lots of shots coming across at this M1. So that's probably going to die as well. Surely one of these missiles is going to finish the job. There it is, dead. SU-25 AT got the final blow with a side shot. Hamatsuchin there. These BMP3 surely going to kill this. There's nothing there. Very little here still. I can't believe they're still alive. HE bomber coming in, hitting that corner with a lot of bombs. And there they are, dead. Beautifully done. Well played, Just Inflation. Junkymonke being a bit bonkers with pushes here. Just charging stuff in. I assume it's a desperation more than anything else. And there's the command in Bravo dead. BMP3s will be delighted with that kill. Getting some cheeky missile shots off at that M1 Abrams. Retreating now, though. I hear a jet somewhere. Oh, it's the anti-air jet from Just Inflation. We'll be evacing. 13 minutes to go. And it's all about points right now. Junkymonke's still ahead. So these slapdash, charge everything in, lose a load of unit attacks from Junkymonke aren't necessarily the end of the world, because still ahead in points. But currently it is +5 to Just Inflation. and +5 will push him into the lead within the next 13 minutes. So it's still all to play for. Still absolutely no movement at the top for most of the game, and Ihawk being brought in the middle there. Mech rifles, that tank finally arriving, Pivads. Pivads will be needed for that Mi-24 anti-air, which is about to cause a lot of issues for these mech rifles. Nothing around the back for either player now, zooming right out. Still an overwhelming force, obviously, down here for Justinflation. Good moves here from Justinflation, taking out those infantry. Ideally, he needs to kill that tank. Anti-tank gun there with missiles firing at that Abrams. Alpha Jet coming in. Trying to hit these Sapri. Oh, nice strike. Did lose the jet though. Small amounts of reinforcements at the top here. Maybe considering a push, but Justinflation has enough of a defensive line to hold that. Still no command in for Bravo. Still +5 to Justinflation. I'm really surprised that Junkymonke hasn't brought in another commander. Just to slow down that point gain. Obviously left it a bit late now, as even with 11 minutes to go, +2 would still be an advantage. Obviously just trying to keep up the pressure, but it's not going to win him the game. HE bomber coming in. It's going to be another nice strike. Did kill the tank. AA coming in to head that Cobra. Pivad's getting some shots off. Shouldn't finish it off though. Another tank coming in. I mean, really right now, all Justinflation needs to do is hold, and he will win this game. He is still bringing in reinforcements. But I think Junkymonke's realised now that, you know, it's a bit late to call in a command. Biggest chance he possibly would have is to take a point completely and keep pushing to take the point behind if there's not much defending it. But I just don't see it happening at the bottom here. And equally, I just don't see it happening at the top either. Justinflation's dug in. And you couldn't charge down the middle because you're going to be shot at from both sides. So, for me, Justinflation's won. I don't see... I mean, there's a command tank coming in there, which could be pushed into this point, but there's just going to be too much there firing out. There's more BMP3s coming in, so he has the range. Anti-tank gun is dead. BMP3s will do some damage. Can he get a side shot on that tank? No, it's gone invisible. One BMP3 dead. Nine minutes left. Is Junkymonke going to try for one last push? I think that might be the case. Using the Abrams to push into that point. Anti-tank SU-25 coming in. Once more for Justinflation. But I think it's all over. This should have to be an impressive push that didn't fail. And from Justinflation's side, he's just keeping up the pressure by throwing small amounts of units in, be it infantry. Look at that. Sacrificing Motor Strelki to bring in an Su-25 to try and take out some tanks. Not a bad idea. 25 tech, a lot of fire. Oh, did that? I think it got out. I think it got out. I thought that second or third missile was going to do the job, but it looked like it got out just in time. Yeah, that command tank moves straight into here. 7 minutes left in this game, just over. Points win for Justinflation sooner than that, perhaps, unless Junkymonke can push back. But it's been a good game. I mean, there was a lot of fighting over this bottom point. And at one point, I definitely thought Junkymonke was going to have the upper hand, even though he had spent so much early game on those command vehicles. But actually, as it turned out, Justinflation managed to keep up that pressure and just keep killing lots of Junkymonke's units. And I expect that's going to be reflected in the kills to losses. I have been surprised before, though. Just under 7 minutes left. Junkymonke either has to go. He is pushing those Jägeraufkul forward, I think. Maybe not. Either he pushes or that's game over anyway. Not convinced he can get in there. Loads of jets coming in from Justinflation right now. Trying to overwhelm the air defenses by sending everything in at once. Has lost a jet though. I think that was one of the AA jets. Probably going to lose. Not sure. I think that other AA jet might just get out alive. He's sending it right to the edge of the map. Here we go. Some movement at the bottom here and from the center. Abrams pushing down, going up against the T-80. But that's game. Commiserations, Junkymonke. That was a challenging one. Justinflation just had an overwhelming force and, as suspected, 2,000 difference there in kills to losses in Justinflation's favour. That was a lot of tanks that Junkymonke was losing there. Bradley doing an amazing job, though, for Junkymonke. Abrams doing a reasonable job. TOW2, Abrams, and on the other side, Mi-24 is doing a fantastic job. That T-62 killed so much stuff. T-80, the MT-12 anti-tank gun did a good job. T-62 again getting so many kills. T-80s, T-80s. Also did alright. BMP-3 is obviously doing a good job as well. Great game, guys. Thanks very much, everyone, for watching. Please stay tuned tomorrow for the second game in this matchup between Justinflation and Junkymonke. Can Junkymonke win the next one, take it back, and give a draw overall? Or will Justinflation push ahead and crush Junkymonke once more? Thanks again for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow.